is really the calling of the great I am. Somebody can be low in the dumps with their spirit, and one day they find inspiration and they want more for themselves.
Okay. Hey, this is askrphtish in the beautiful city of North Carolina. And who do I have the pleasure of meeting today?
Kelly Presley.
Okay, nice to meet you, Kelly.
Likewise.
So I'm asking questions about, I'm with a nonprofit, I'm helping the homeless, and I want to ask people their opinion. What do you think is the root cause of the homelessness in the Charlotte area, or just in general? A, you think it's mental health that's not resolved in addiction? Do you think it's unresolved childhood trauma, unaffordable housing, or what do you think?
Those were interesting options. I honestly think it's a combination of all of them.
Or just don't want to work?
Well, I don't think anyone chooses to be homeless. Very few. You hear about different people that actually choose to include that in their strategy for going to a better. Listen, a tent.
You say strategy?
A strategy to save money, to build, to save money so they can make the deposit. So, like, instead of spending a hotel night $300 or some place that could be dangerous, why not sleep here if they don't have no small kids?
Okay.
Save their money up. But that's a strategy. I wouldn't try it.
Okay.
But I do think it's a combination of all the options that you said. Initially, mental illness, a string of bad luck.
Yeah.
Mental illness kind of relates back to childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately it's the solutions that you brought as options.
Okay. And so what do you think is any hope for the homeless, or do you think they want housing, or what do you think?
I think there's always hope, and I always think you have some that subscribe to the idea of uproot little piggy, and then you have some woe and pity, or poor pity me.
Right.
So you have a combination of everybody, but I do believe that anything is possible, even if it is sharing a space or going to a shelter, which a lot of women with kids will not do. I don't blame them, because the shelters can be tough.
Okay.
So you have to get in there at a certain time. So I think the system is not set up so everybody can be comfortable at one time to start off with.
Okay.
So ultimately, I think that it's really the calling of the great I am. It's really the call of the great I am. Somebody can be low in the dumps with their spirit, and one day they find inspiration and they want more for themselves.
Okay.
And they find the resources, and they go along with the channels. Oh, okay, that's not him. They go along with the channels that will require them to get to the next step. Some people just don't want to do it, and they like the fact they're not paying utilities.
Right.
They like the fact they don't have to pay for housing. They like the fact that they can basically sit here all day and be like, help me out. You got $1? Some people like that. Some people really cut the fool and don't even have a need.
Right.
But back to the basis of your question, I think there's always hope.
Okay.
There's always hope.
All right. Well, that was good. I appreciate it. That was great, especially off the cuff. So I appreciate you so much.
I work in social justice.
Oh, there we go.
I work in social justice. I'm a mother of many. So, even though the majority of my kids, they're doing well, or they're still in the house, but I always think about these things. If I'm not here and they fall on strange luck, or they get mistreated in the world, how would they bounce back? Am I setting parameters for my kids to never have to be homeless? Because that's the job of a parent.
Right.
So, I always think about stuff like this. I always think
Yeah, because you were ready, like we already talked about this.
No, we really did.
I know.
We came up here for lunch and they closing at 2. But I always think about others, because that's part of being human. That's humanity.
Right.
It's not just me in this world, and I don't know how.
And let me ask you this real quick before I end. You brought up a really good point, thinking of others. Do you think we think about others enough, or are we getting more selfish as a society?
I think we're getting selfish, and then everything has to be a strategy. You have some nonprofits, some businesses that know the perks of giving.
Right.
So they know for them to benefit on the tax end, they have to sprinkle something. These corporations can buy an old warehouse and set up tents. I mean, there's things they can do. They're freaking containers that some people live in.
Right.
They could get together and build a whole community of container homes for them.
Yes, like the little tiny homes, or the pallet homes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not about it not being a supply and demand. It's about enough of heart and enough of compassion and enough of sincere planning to get these people from where they are to where they need to be.
Beautiful. And we're going to end on that, girl. Thank you so much. It was more than I thought I was going to get, honey. I mean, not to be insulted, but this is so deep, so quick. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.